We all know that Batman needed Robin and the Lone Ranger needed Tonto. We all need a sidekick. Who's yours? So to keep it oh, sorry, my name's Jack.
I'm Will.
I'm Browning.
Nick. I'm Trevion.
To keep it plain and simple, we connect teens with jobs. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to hire a personal sidekick to help you around the house with household needs like maybe mowing your lawn or cleaning your gutters or maybe even helping with technology?
So the problem that we're solving with our service is we are empowering teens, busy teens who need cash, and we are also providing busy adults the opportunity and the convenience to hire their own sidekick whenever they need it.
Dude, I'm so hungry, but I have no money for food.
Dude, why don't you get a job?
I do not have time for a job.
Dude, just have you heard of Sidekick, man?
Dude, I'm so hungry, but I have no money for food.
Dude, why don't you get a job?
I do not have time for a job.
Dude, just have you heard of Sidekick, man?
No.
Man, super easy jobs, and you can just work on your own hours too. Yeah, check it out, man. Just go to www.teensforjobs.com.
Oh wow, this is nice. I like this.
So basically that was a quick preview of our website and explaining our problem that we are solving. This is the actual site that we have created and has been up for about 2.5 weeks or so now. And we have gotten a good number of views. Just waiting for it to load here. So this is our this is our MVP. We basically launched this as a test or like a prototype in order to see if it would work in the way that we wanted to. Currently, we're not making money because it's just a test to see if it works and to see where we went wrong or what we needed to improve and just get a good idea of what we were working with. So basically what we had was a platform where teenagers could come sign up to have their profiles put out for other people who are looking to hire. And they would come in and sign up. They would fill out their personal information along with whatever jobs they were looking for, such as like errands, tutoring, pet care, etc. They would send it in, I would receive it, and make them a profile under Sidekicks. When looking for a sidekick, you would see their name along with a brief picture of what services they are willing to provide. And then when you go to click on their profile, you will see more in depth exactly what it is they're willing to do, a little bit about them, and their contact information so that you could get in contact with them. Eventually, we hope to make a messenger within the app. We did have one, but we didn't see a need for one since we weren't making any money through the site originally. And we were going to bring it back eventually in order to be able to keep all the traffic within the site. And eventually we would like to create more of an Uber-based model where you just get a sidekick at your door with the click of a button and get a transaction fee for their service. So within the first 5 days launched, we actually got 598 views on our website And then within the first 8 days launched, we got 867 views, including 200 views in 1 day. We did this by marketing on all of our own personal social medias along with our company Instagram. And we were able to drum up a lot of traffic with that.
So our first year predictions, there are about 300,000 teens in San Antonio. And we were thinking about 10% would sign up for our service, our app. And if each teen made or just did 2 jobs a month and averaged $40 for each one, we'd get $2 for each one of them. But that means we get 5% of each transaction. And that would come out for a little bit under like 1.5 million. So that's pretty cool.
For some of our competitors that we found 5 of them. For indirect, we have Craigslist and Angie's List, and for direct, we have Scratch, Nextdoor, and TaskRabbit. And Scratch, they are very similar to us. They're just only located in the Dallas area. And with Scratch, there is specific prices for each of the jobs that you have to do. And for TaskRabbit, teens would have a hard time finding jobs on there just because they're like specifically looking for skilled professions. So teens wouldn't really have a good chance of finding a job on there. And on Nextdoor, we all came to the conclusion that Nextdoor isn't the most family-friendly user interface. And when you go on Nextdoor, like, you see some of the stuff on there, it's just not what you're looking for. Like, I went on there and I saw, can you help find my dog? And we're just trying to specify in jobs. So that's one of the reasons we put them as a direct competitor. But yeah. Then for our unique value proposition, we are focusing specifically for teens. And I mean, that's the problem we are solving. We want to help teens that don't have enough time to commit to a real scheduled job to make money. And we're also making our app and website very user-friendly, so there's no problem with navigation on there. We also want to bring the community aspect into it. Think of Alamo Heights. We're going to use location-based services to make sure that you and your sidekick are in fairly close range of each other. And the most important thing is we are making it where you can work on your own hours. You can work when you need to and when you want to.
So as I mentioned before, we are not currently making any money off of the website just because we're using it as a test. But now that we have seen that we are turning out some good numbers, we are working on the monetization of the website and next the iOS and Android app. But so step 1 is with advertisements. We are partnering up with Google AdSense to make a little bit of money off the bat just because it's the easiest to do. Next, we're going to try to lean in towards getting the homeowners or adults who are offering the jobs to sign up for subscriptions on the app and website. And then eventually we hope to get that Uber-based model that I mentioned where we get a percentage of the transaction fee. So we are asking for $500 in order to progress our company and app. Currently, it costs $60 a month to maintain and the website that we have now, but we are hoping to upgrade to the premium package, which allows us to construct our iOS or Apple app, and that's going to be $115 a month. We're hoping to have that for 4 months until the end of the year. And the last of the money that we would use would go towards changing our domain name. One of the problems that we did encounter with our website was people were going to the wrong site. Currently we are at www.teens4jobs, and they would type in Teens for Jobs without the number and be confused why they couldn't find the site. We thought it would just be better to change it altogether. Like a lot of people have told us, it would be so much easier if it was just the word. So that's what we're going to do. That costs $42 and renews at $64 a year. So in total, we are looking at $460 for the upgrade on the website development, and we are looking at $42 for the new domain name and security, which comes out to $502. But I know that's over. Somehow we will manage to cover the $2. So we are Sidekick, Teens for Jobs, Jobs for Teens. hire a sidekick to fulfill your needs.
So with the site that's up right now, even though you're not generating revenue, are people able to contact the teens who need jobs, or
Yes, sir.
has it been creating businesses? Or?
Yes, we are not able to monitor all the business because it's not through our messenger anymore. But yes, it has created some business.
And so if you had the 115 a month for the iOS app, could you incorporate payment and transaction fee through that? Or why have you left transaction fee to your last step?
Mostly because people are not as inclined to use something like a website on the daily. Apps are so easy and efficient that it's just click on it. You think about them every day. You don't necessarily think about going, like, if, for example, if Uber was a website, I doubt it would get as many transactions on it, just because it's so much more of a pain for people to have to type in a website.
I'm asking, can you get to the transaction fee step of your business model if you have the iOS app?
Yes, ma'am.
Because as I look, I don't know if the other judges look at it, as I look at the business model, that's where you're gonna be able to make money, is on that transaction fee, right? Because you're not gonna make a lot of money off Google ads.
No, we're not. That's just the first step.
And
And
the,
so,
yeah, the
and
subscriptions
I'm not
either.
sure
I'm not
about
sure.
the subscription either, because I think about it as if I was gonna use Sidekick, I'd want it like, okay, I need, 2 teenagers to come over and move this piece of furniture or whatever. And I wanna be able to pay the one-time fee, and then I might go on there again, and then again, but I don't know about the subscription as much.
But think about it, you're just paying 99 cents and you're saving hundreds of dollars. So
But I'm thinking that it's more transaction fee oriented, you'll make more money than just a subscription.
Yeah, right, we don't pay a subscription for Uber, right, you're just
But you
paying.
pay a transaction
You pay a
fee,
transaction
pay a
fee for every
transaction
ride.
fee for
And
Postmates,
it's a
for Favor.
similar
It's all
kind of model
transaction
for
fee.
y'all here.
That is our final goal. We just had to shift our vision to support our MVP and what was viable at this time.
Great, so if you have the iOS app, will you have that ability to track
Yes,
the
yes, ma'am, we will.
transaction?
And I had a question about, so basically, people can go out and they'll see these folks and they can say, okay, I need somebody to come and, move something. Then when you click on that, and then how do you connect? Is it like, does an email go to the teen, and then the teen contacts, how does the connection go, and how do they negotiate, how much money and all that good stuff? How does that work?
So
we're just hoping to get to the point where you can just post a job on the app and hundreds or thousands of teens can just see it and first come, first serve.
And I actually have a app called Tackle. I think it's Tackle. I have Tackle, and it is. I would rather. Obviously, I think it's great to get for teenagers, right? And it is relatively expensive, but I think that you definitely, and that's kind of what happens is, it's like whoever grabs it first, and then I get the notification. So I was just wondering, is that kind of the concept that you were thinking about?
I think that with the messaging part of our service, they're gonna be able to see the job come up.
Okay.
The first one to message the person, then you have to start negotiating the price between y'all two.
Okay, because I will say on the app, Tackle has a specific, which this would be more, they pretty much upsell it, and there's a price. You have to send pictures of what, it's pretty pricey, and you've got to do a lot. To me, it's a lot of work to go take pictures of exactly what I want to do. So I do like this concept. I think you've just got to make sure that communication and the transaction, you can, you've got to charge for something so that you're making some money. And for somebody maybe, the subscription thing, I know I also have the app that delivers groceries shipped. And I do pay the subscription for that but then I don't pay a fee, right?
And you're getting groceries all the time.
But I get groceries all the
You gotta
time.
get enough
So I think it would, You get it, right, yeah.
Had it for a while.
Yeah, I love it. So it just depends, right? I mean, on who you're,
You wouldn't think like you wouldn't feel comfortable paying 99 cents to like just have like limited teens come do their jobs and stuff.
I would absolutely. I mean, I'm just saying, if you guys, I know you had subscription up there, so I'm just saying if you wanted to go ahead and go with that. I think you could, it depends on your user. If you've got somebody that's constantly needing some help, which I'm a good candidate again.
I personally have been more of a fan of the transaction fee as well. We are looking into incorporating the Square software into our app and website so that no transactions are left liable to us. They'd be taken care of by Square and in a more secure space as well, just to, so in case our security is not good enough and we're not left responsible for that, which would be a smaller percentage of our percentage that is cut by them. But
You're talking about the transaction, though. What about the liability if someone gets hurt?
Yeah, I was thinking about safety on both sides here, right? That you got people signing up that's saying I'm a team that wants to come help you, but you just created a way for me to get into your house and vice versa. Are you sending a team into a harmful situation? So how are y'all gonna sort that out?
yes, we've been told many times that this would be one of our biggest issues, and definitely background checks. I'm monitoring all of the submissions currently, and I always send texts out and make sure they are who they say they are. And with when it's so small like this, it's easy to tell because you know everybody, and that's what we're kind of hoping to get at, is the whole like community-based orientation, which makes it almost safer because you like know everybody. It's in your community. You're hiring like the neighbor's kid from like 2 doors down. That's the whole point of this. We're trying to get you matched up with someone within like a 2-mile radius, not like, you know, all over San Antonio. It's going to be like a zip code based.
I assume you'll have ratings for both
Yes.
workers and users.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would definitely get some language, probably on your website, I would think, that says that you won't be liable for something. I mean, because otherwise, again, if they get it off the website, a person, they come in, something happens.
That's going to be one of your biggest problems. I mean,
Yeah.
teens,
Yeah.
how are you defining teens?
13 to like 19, 18.
So 18, 19, you have problems. 13 to 14 to 15, you have really big problems. I mean, not big problems, but do you just have
Do you mean in terms of
potentially
like,
much larger problems?
You probably should talk to an
Because you're
attorney.
dealing with children.
Yeah, you should probably talk to an attorney.
Yeah, and so
Get some
you've got to be
ideas of like-
smart about where you draw the line there. But
And hopefully, like,
you got to create, you're creating a safe place, you know, for people to find and be found. And the find and be found part is honestly probably kind of the easiest part of this. It's creating a safe and trusted place for that. That's going to be the trick.
I'm sure if you went out to Craigslist, that they've got some sort of verbiage out there that says, it talks about liability, so I would just do some research on that for sure.
I would tell you, I think a really interesting part of this, and take Alamo Heights for example, is there's a lot of people here that, like, of course, if I have someone on my lawn, I'm going to be a real stickler about it. But if I know it's a kid who's trying to save money for college, all of a sudden, I'm just a lot better in terms of giving. And so I like that, where it's kind of this community, you can, the customers, the grown-ups they're essentially investing in their community by having jobs done by kids in their community for good, who are using it for the right reasons. So I think that's a really interesting marketing aspect of this that could be really interesting. And I do think on these sheets where you show their
Profile.
faces and stuff, is that I think you guys make everybody have a testimonial. Here's what I'm about, and here's what I want to do in the future. Here are my dreams, because grown-ups love that stuff, man.
Oh, they do. I think if you could combine this with a trust for a kid, and I know that the dollars I'm giving you are going into a trust and it can only be used for your education, You're gonna kill it. I mean,
And then if you,
people are gonna
then if you
go,
run over
you can go
sprinkler head, I don't care, right?
Right.
Right.
No, seriously though, that's a really interesting aspect.
Yeah,
And it's, you just position as you're investing in your community, because
I like
that's what,
Originally, we had it to where it was just a messenger through the app, and so therefore you had to create an account to be on it. We still have all of our users from that, and in the accounts you did have a little bio where you were able to say something about yourself, or just like that.
okay. Yeah. that was
Good
great.
job.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.